Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Six, 2.
All aboard!
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
For what?
Because I told you to.
Are police like addicted to IDs?
Get out
Is
the
that
car.
the thing?
Get out the car. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Now. Put your hands behind your back.
What's good, Money Train Gang? We back and we falling down the track. Yeah, this time we're headed to Warren, Michigan, where these pigs have managed to cause a major train wreck. So fam, pull up your cam, follow me. Let's go see.
A teenager attacked by an officer at the Warren jail is going on the offensive, taking the city to court for tens of millions of dollars. Thanks for being with us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. Officer Matthew Rodriguez fired from Warren Police this week for that incident in what the police commissioner called a clear and obvious decision, but that is far from the end of the story.
A new lawsuit says the city should pay, arguing the other officers seen in the video were not trying to stop the attack, but were instead part of it. Here to help us sort out the claims is Victor Williams. Victor, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Kimberly and Devin. We all knew that a lawsuit was potentially coming down the pipeline, but we had no idea it would be coming out this quickly. Not only is the city of Warren and the officer who is allegedly responsible for the attack listed as defendants, but the other 2 officers that were in that room as well.
The officer said, "Hurry up and take the picture, you little," and he said, "I ain't no."
Just 14 days after the now viral moment of an officer assaulting a 19-year-old carjacking suspect, a lawsuit has officially been filed against the city of Warren on behalf of Jaquan Smith and Fire Law.
He's about double the size of him.
The 30-page complaint is now seeking $50 million in damages. Jaquan's aunt Tanisha Banks is just happy he's still here.
The first thing that ran across my mind, did he survive?
Commissioner Bill Dwyer commenting on how quickly the lawsuit was filed.
Why do they have to rush to doing that?
I wish I could have got it filed sooner, but we did it as fast as we possibly could.
The big question is whether or not Jaquan received any injuries in the assault.
He was treated at the hospital for his injuries, and he was cleared of no injuries.
He is still, as of this day, having issues with head injuries. He's having headaches, dizziness, nausea, consistent with traumatic brain injury.
Another question is whether the other 2 officers involved actually intervened.
They were actors, they were part of this brutality, and they will be held responsible as well.
They didn't see what the officer had done at the beginning. They came in when he was down on the ground, and they don't know. So, but when the officer started banging his head, that's when they said, enough is enough, and they reported immediately to their supervisor.
Either way, the now fired officer Matthew Rodriguez has been charged with misdemeanor assault. It also turns out he has a history of alleged excessive force.
Well, damn. Here we go again, having to sift through this pig shit, digging for the motherfucking facts. What? Somebody gotta do it. Let's get it. So this is what we got. Warren, Michigan. population 160,000. 61% white, 21% black, 11% Asian, and the rest are Latinos. We have a 19-year-old teenage suspect arrested for carjacking. He's transported to the county jail, where he's placed into the custody of Officer Matthew Rodriguez. During the booking process, Rodriguez and the teen suspect had an exchange of words, a heated argument, you might just say, which ultimately led to Officer Rodriguez throwing a sucker punch, shooting a knee to the guy, slamming him down to the ground, grabbing him by the hair, and smashing his face into the floor. While at the same time, we see two more officers come into the frame. They too have been named in the lawsuit. And yet, interesting enough, the commissioner, Bill Guire, had this to say.
They didn't see what the officer had done at the beginning. They came in when he was down on the ground, and they don't know. So, but when the officer started banging his head, that's when they said, enough is enough, and they reported immediately to their supervisor.
Well, fam, we did some more digging into Mr. Matthew Rodriguez's career as a police officer, and we discovered that this is his MO. And the reason that this is his MO is because he received the same misdemeanor citation in that incident as he did in this one.
Guadalupe Marin's contact with Officer Matt Rodriguez began the week before this incident. She had purchased a black Infiniti from the website OfferUp, but the car had a history, and Rodriguez was part of the violent crime enforcement team that pulled her over.
They said that the vehicle had evaded the police officers, so there was a felony warrant for the vehicle, so they wanted to impound it. They knew that I wasn't the driver.
Fast forward to July 22nd. Guadalupe's sister picked her up in a BMW she just bought from a mechanic, but the passenger side door didn't work, so she slid over to let Guadalupe drive to McDonald's.
I wanted her to drive, and I told her, you want to drive or you want to climb through the window? So it'd just be easier for her to get in the car and then have to go around.
Guadalupe drove to the restaurant at North 27th Street in East Santa Clara with her sister, her niece and nephew in the back. Within seconds of arriving, Officer Rodriguez and his partner rush at the car, guns drawn.
Ordered me to get out of the car and get on my knees, so I did.
And that's when this video shot by a DoorDash driver picks up. Rodriguez, an 11-year veteran of the San Jose PD, orders Guadalupe to crawl towards him. She tells me she didn't understand because he was already so close. Then Rodriguez kicked her, leaving this bruise on her stomach.
How long between the time he said, I'm going to kick you, and when he actually kicked you?
Like simultaneously, like at the same time, almost.
At the same time?
Mm-hmm.
So there was no warning for you to actually comply before he kicked you?
No.
The video shows Officer Rodriguez cuffing Guadalupe, then he picks her up by the wrist, forcing her arms back and drags her, scraping her bare skin on the pavement.
Were you afraid?
Oh yeah, I was afraid. I could hear my niece and my nephew screaming. I could hear my sister screaming. I just knew I was in a situation that I couldn't control.
Guadalupe tells me Officer Rodriguez kept insisting the car was stolen.
And so he kept saying, is this another OfferUp story? This is your car. He kept insisting the car was mine, and that was not my car. I had just barely got in that car for the first time.
During the arrest, her 7-year-old nephew telephoned another family member. You can hear him on a voicemail pleading with the officers.
They really want the car. They really want the car.
Police later confirmed the car was not stolen. In a statement, the DA's office says the BMW was wanted for evading police earlier that day with a male driver. And prosecutors charged Officer Rodriguez with misdemeanor penal code 149, assault under color of authority.
Man, salute to the guy behind the camera, the Uber Eats guy. Because I ain't seen nothing from a cop.
Always making up shit.
From
it wasn't Uber, it was
guy.
DoorDash.
Yeah.
Dumbass nigga.
He was able to capture a pig in the act on the train track. You know, they used to say, a photo is worth 1,000 words. Found a video worth a couple of $100,000. Oh, yeah. And there's more.
Turn of events in Warren tonight, where the police commissioner, Bill Dwyer, is officially off the job. Dwyer told 7 Action News that this afternoon he was given a letter from new Mayor Lori Stone saying he was being relieved from his position effective immediately and was led out of the building. 7 Action News reporter Brett Cast is in Warren tonight with how the community is reacting. Brett?
Well, I spoke to now former Commissioner Bill Dwyer on the phone earlier today. He says he was here at the department when he was handed a letter from the mayor that says he was being let go effective immediately. Then a few hours later, he was being escorted out of the building just over a month before he was set to retire.
To leave on those terms, it's a shame.
Warren residents reacting to the news that the head of their police department, Commissioner Bill Dwyer, was relieved from duty effective immediately after a collective 9 years on the job.
I was totally shocked because he's always been very proactive for the city of Warren.
Dwyer began his career in the 1960s with the Detroit Police Department and worked across Metro Detroit for decades. He tells us he informed the mayor he was retiring on April 19th.
If he's going to be retiring, then what is there any gain from being let go?
Mayor Lori Stone was elected in November, replacing longtime Mayor Jim Fouts. She says her and Dwyer had a recent rift over her decision to put the city's HR department in charge of hiring police personnel.
It seems like she's got some good intentions and she's putting together a team to try to make some things happen.
She's my neighbor and she's helped me out a bunch of times. She doesn't hold grudges or anything like that either. I mean, she's a good person.
In a statement, the mayor thanked Dwyer's service to the city, but said in part, quote, although Commissioner Dwyer announced his intentions to retire in April, no firm date was mutually agreed upon. It became recently apparent that our viewpoints on hiring no longer aligned. It is essential for members of my administration to have a united vision on major operational decisions going forward.
And everything she's done so far, I trust her.
You know, shame on the city of Warren. Just shame on them. It's terrible.
Both Mayor Stone and Dwyer declined interviews today. Charles Rushton will serve as the acting interim police commissioner until a full-time replacement is found.
After doing our research, it was revealed that the Department of Justice had launched an investigation into the Warren Police Department after receiving multiple complaints involving Matthew Rodriguez. The Department of Justice also set their scopes in on Bill Dwyer, focusing on the hiring practice that surrounded Officer Matthew Rodriguez. And interesting enough, the community of Warren had split or different opinions on the ousting of the commissioner, Bill Dwyer. Now, during the DOJ's investigation of Warren, also they discovered that the commissioner, on more than one occasion, attempted to cover up the actions of its officers in an attempt to divert accountability. So yeah, fam, there it is. Hey, and salute to that Uber Eats driver or that DoorDash driver or whatever he was for that cam. Hey, so fam, pull up your cam. Press your record button and follow me. We'll see you in the next city. Salute. Just like a lying ass nigga. Always trying to get something for nothing.
All aboard!